And we're live! Sup, everybody? Welcome to Pod Heaven episode 29.
29? What's
I
up?
believe we made it through 29 of these things.
That's not the song.
I actually know how to play this one.
We got Silver Remains in his house today, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a long anticipated episode.
It's a special day.
Doom doom. Doom doom. Doopa doopa doom doom.
That's not what the song.
Yeah, we could adjust that later, maybe.
What song is that?
Something about video games.
Dude, we don't play these games.
We don't play
Not anymore.
games.
People. Welcome, Michael.
Thanks, guys.
Today's a very special day, ladies and gentlemen. We got all three of the Qualvic boys on Pod Heaven.
I'm not one of. Yeah.
This is a Qualvic boy right here. All right. You see the resemblance?
Well, more importantly, we're all in a band. Or we were.
We were
We were in a band.
once upon a time.
Well, once you're in a band, you're always in a band. So that's
So, I mean, I guess we're all brothers. Like, not biologically, but...
you've known Aaron.
No,
long
we're
enough.
definitely all brothers.
I'm just trying to point out that we're like actually brothers.
Yeah, your brother. I'm
Wait,
a brother.
it's
he's a
unclear on what you're actually trying to point out here.
brother. Okay.
So that guy and that guy are actually related to each other, and it happens to be that those twins are related to that
Okay.
Here we are.
over there.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So Michael has expressed that he's got a bunch of great ideas for our podcast. So go ahead, bro. Take it away.
Okay, story number one. Here we go.
Okay.
I got here,
Yeah.
and let me back up like a whole half step here. So
A whole half step.
I am married happily,
He's
and
married.
have been for many years. And my wife and I, have a 5-year-old boy,
Among other boys. but-
among other 2 small boys as well.
Oh boy.
But when he learned to be potty trained, he started to abbreviate "Dad, I have to go potty" to "Dad, I have to go pod." I have to go pod. So we
Okay,
are
I
walk
see where
around.
this is
We walk
going.
around the house and we're like, I have to go pod. And so when I got here, you can guess what I texted Brianna. I have to go pod.
That's not even. Actually, it's still an abbreviation, but
Yeah.
So great.
I had to take off the rim shot of the drum thing to like leave room for more Silver Remains songs.
Oh, okay.
But
So if a random silver
Devin,
Remains
go.
song starts
Devin,
playing,
go.
What,
Do the thing.
what am I
Do
doing?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, it's gonna be one of these kind of podcasts, huh?
we don't have a script today.
No, we're just
Michael
flying
just
solo.
seems so prepared when he came in here. Talking about all the great
weird
ideas
things start
we have for
happening
our
when
podcast.
all the
I mean,
Qualvics are here.
So I just thought he'd take it away and be the host today. You know,
One thing I was gonna say is that so we should kind of unpack the history of Silver Remains.
that's what I think too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did it. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but this is how I remember it. Right? Okay. I remember that me and Eric were playing.
Wrong.
Thanks. That we were playing Iron Man. Who does that?
that would be Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath. That's right. I want to say Van Halen.
I kept wanting to say Iron Maiden.
No.
Iron Maiden.
Iron
Stop
Man.
it.
Iron
Stop it. Stop it. Please.
He's gonna be got all the dad jokes because he's a dad. So hey. Anyways, so yeah, me and Eric were learning to play Iron Man, and then Michael, Michael's just barreling down the stairs, and he comes busting around the corner. He goes, "I'm gonna learn how to play bass, and we're gonna start a band." And then he just runs back upstairs. And
Like a
me and Eric-
profound
Yeah.
revelation.
We practiced. By the way, Devin and I were both pretty terrible at what we did back then. We practiced for
Speak for
weeks.
yourself.
Weeks.
I love how you dragging down with you.
We
were both terrible.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
That's right.
Yeah, we had this cool band, but Me and this one other particular individual in the band. Man.
That was all it was.
I won't
back
gonna say
then.
any names, but he played drums. It's like, oh, okay.
So, of all the drummers we have, you could just leave it up to your imagination. No.
So yeah, what am I right saying that? Is that
it's
kind of
great.
where it started?
Yeah.
I remember that particular barreling of myself down the stairs.
Keep in mind that was not Silver Remains though.
No,
That
not
was
yet.
a precursor to Silver
Yeah.
Remains.
Yes.
When we had Jesse Nieto.
That's when we started. From there, we were like, well, okay. But I also remember a conversation at BJ's as well.
Pizza joint.
A pizza joint.
Yes.
You gotta bleep
A
out
pizza
the
franchise.
The name of that.
in the
It stands for blowjobs?
Western Coast.
Yes.
I was
Oh.
gonna say it's not a stripper joint.
What were you thinking?
They do
Anyway,
make their own
we were-
beer.
So we were there, and then your mom is all, there's a talent show thing that
Yeah.
Oh, this is
musicians are gonna play.
Ooh,
at,
this is a
and you can
little
win
ways
money.
along, but
And we had this like vision of auditioning and playing Blitzkrieg Bop out of the back of an actual car.
That's right.
We were talking about that for so long with like cramming ourselves into the van and being like playing Blitzkrieg Bop as like our audition video. Oh my gosh, that was wild. That never came to fruition.
long time ago. Yeah, things I think were moving a little bit during that whole period because there was Jesse was not quite in the same genre as the rest of us were. He wasn't as interested in what we were playing, and so naturally we just kind of agreed to split ways. That's when we actually named Silver Remains. Was after he departed.
Do you remember how we named when we remained Silver Remains?
we were driving you guys home.
Yes,
Yep.
that is the correct answer.
It was like a 15-minute drive from Vancouver to Camas.
Yeah.
And
And I think we said two things. We were like, all right, we want to have a color in the band name, and we want to have the word remains because we were like really big into all that remains at that time.
Yeah.
And so we're like, I love the word
Let's just
remains.
copy our favorite metal bands.
Let's just, why don't we just copy
Straight up.
bands?
That's how we came up with all of our riffs too.
Oh, Eric is the most original
He wouldn't
guitarist.
let us do anything close to that.
Yeah.
That's how we came up with all of them, and then we brought them to Eric, and he was like, "You guys."
No.
Originality. What happened to that?
And then I think we were like passing around the idea of like Chrome remains for a while.
like Chrome Cloud, I think was another
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I think I remember something about that.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't go with that.
But we settled on Silver Remains by the time we got home. Man, I would have loved to be a fly on the wall on that. Like your dad was driving, so that would have
Yeah.
been just wild to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool, man. So what happened after that?
Well, I think we should talk about some of the names that we had before Silver Remains.
The name that we had, like the one
Yeah.
that we actually picked,
Yeah, the one
is
that
the
we
one that
went
I
with.
remember.
You guys started off as Nuclear Explosion.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! I forgot about that.
I actually made album art for that too.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
So terrible.
What could it possibly have been a
so-
picture of?
It was literally like a nuclear explosion, but I zoomed way in on the middle of it and then put like a radioactive sign in the middle. That's about it.
You gotta have the biohazard.
Because Jesse
symbol.
had this what was it, Dave Mustaine guitar? It was like
He had a flying V.
He
yeah,
had
but
a-
it was
He
different.
had a Jackson.
It had like
the big old Jackson with the.
It was it wasn't an X. It was an offset check. Actually, is what it was.
Isn't it called a
That's
Razorback?
yeah,
might be.
Razorback.
Dean
Yeah.
Razorback?
Yeah. And it was had like this flame pattern on it.
That guitar was too much, bro.
Yeah, that was a lot.
over
It was a
the-
lot.
It was big too. It was like this.
But there's no such thing as too much when you're in high school.
No,
that's
it was
true.
middle school. It was not
It was
high
like
school
twice
yet.
the size.
That makes a
of
lot
it.
more sense. 'Cause I'm
Yeah,
thinking, as I'm saying,
that's
I'm going,
even
yeah, there is
more,
such
yeah.
thing as too much in high school, but
Like,
yeah.
Middle school, of course you're gonna name your band Nuclear Explosion. Why not?
I think it got floated out there at some point, and we all just were like, "Yeah!"
No, it was your idea. You're like, guys, wait, what about this? And we're like, whoa!
I'm
Was there
sorry.
any names other than that?
I don't think we really deliberated much on that. As soon as nuclear explosion was said, it was set.
Yeah, there
It
were
was-
some other ones, but I can't remember what they were.
No, I remember that was the one that just
That was it.
knocked down the house.
So yeah, we went with Nuclear Explosion for a little bit. Then we finally switched over to Silver Remains because we grew up a little bit, and that's when we did the talent show, right?
There's, let's see.
Oh yeah. The
School.
talent show at Eric's school.
Yeah,
That was not for a cash prize.
No, it's just a show off.
It was a show off. We weren't even singing anything. We played 2 original songs that were
Both instrumental.
instrumental entirely. Nothing really all that special. I was really kind of terrible at guitar, so I didn't solo like much. I technically had a solo in one of them,
Doopity doopy 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 doopy
except
Pretty much.
except a
Pretty
little
much.
bit less natural than that.
Yeah.
So
That was
there was
natural?
that. Yeah, we'll get there. And then we had the whole thing that the lights were going to come on as soon as we started the first song, and they came in super late. And Devin was like,
That's
super.
right.
Devin had to count in.
So excited.
Yeah, Devin had to count in, and it's supposed to be like, tss, tss, and it was.
Yeah, we just play on hyper speed. You're like, all right, here we go. I was like, I'm so nervous.
Silver Remains featuring Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
There's
So,
that.
yeah,
There was a joke about us all being single. Yeah, that's right. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
They're
someone
all
had to-
available.
Yeah,
said
they're
the
all
announcer
available.
at the
Someone
end of
had to
you guys'
ask us
performance.
ahead of time, and it was like, why did you do that?
I think it was your mom.
My mom mentioned it, but I think that it was either my mom or the hostess asked about it.
Yeah.
Because she was trying to think of something interesting to say about us before we got on
I'm
stage.
pretty sure your mom like actually was like made it a point to go tell them like,
Yeah,
look, they're
I feel
all
like that's what it was.
Because I just have a memory. in
She
my
was
brain
there.
of
I
her
think she
doing
answered
that.
on our behalf before
Well,
we could
that's-
say like,
Oh, maybe that was it.
yeah,
No, and that's totally something your mom would do.
yeah.
too.
She would. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Anyways.
I'm just trying to remember if she pushed it or if she asked and she was like, "Oh yeah," and then like jumped on it before we had like could even react. So
I remember it was one of those.
keep in mind this was like 2007, 2008, somewhere in that ballpark. I want to say.
I don't even know.
I think it was
Yeah,
like
something like that.
2007.
It's like forever ago.
Yeah, it
Anyways.
was a long time ago.
So what did we do after that? That was kind of when we
played-
went through Jesse. Jesse took off, or we.
That was after Jesse, right?
That was way after Jesse.
That was after
way
Jesse.
after
Right.
Jesse.
Yeah.
Everything that was Silver Remains is after Jesse.
Okay, that's right.
Jesse Nieto, who's in Megadeth now.
Mega did. Yeah.
It's the cover
that
band
just
that my drummer plays for.
Is so fitting.
Yeah, it works.
I
It
love
works.
that.
He
so
loves
much.
Dave Mustaine. Oh my
dope.
gosh,
He has always loved David Mustaine.
I know.
Oh, is that when we had that one chick singer? Don't know her name.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we had a period of time before that. We were filming ourselves in that one bedroom at my old house in front of a black curtain,
Yeah.
playing really sketchy original
Stuff.
arrangements.
Yes.
Just because none of us really knew what we were doing. Like we did Blitzkrieg Bop. We had the electric drum kit that my dad bought because
Right,
we're doing
right.
Rock Band like crazy, and my dad thought it would work with Rock Band, and instead we just used it as an actual drum kit and
Right.
beat the crap out of it.
You beat the crap out
You
of it.
did.
Yeah,
Maybe your dad did too.
He
Maybe
tried-
the apple
no,
doesn't
he-
fall too
your
far.
dad
from
no,
the tree.
once.
my dad didn't play it that much.
Yeah.
But
So it's settled.
You did it.
Eric broke it.
the skins
a
kept
brat.
breaking. I don't think I actually broke the triggers, but the skins are cheap. So
It was just a cheap kit. So,
it's a
but
cheap
you know.
kit, and when you're a teenager, you can't buy replacement parts because.
You broke.
Yeah. And then
Anyways,
of course I
I
had
think we've-
other issues, but
Yeah, we talked about that for a while, and then we ended up actually auditioning for that one show that your mom like inspired us with.
Yeah, it was the hot dog plate, the sausage.
Sausage
fest.
Fest. I know.
I didn't want to say sausage.
Which
I know.
which I didn't get it.
What it was called.
That's what it was.
I didn't get it until like literally
We started
just
telling
right
people,
now.
and they were reacting about the way you did, just like, oh no.
I went to say it. I was like, wait a minute, that's not.
It was like a legitimate like I guess like a Bavarian festival fair type of thing, but
Yep.
that might have been the whole thing was to get people talking about it because it's called sausage fest.
Do you remember we got
Horrible slang.
we almost? It was a decent amount of prize money. That's what you were alluding to earlier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
And,
PMC, I think.
well, that was later, even later. And then we shoot, where was I going with that? Right. So we got beat out by like some like drum corps.
Yeah. It was a big old like drum.
Oh,
They had
Yeah.
little kids in
Drum
it.
line. Bunch
Yeah.
of kids playing
Well,
drums.
okay. From objectively speaking, after years and years and years of being removed from it, they did produce a better performance than we
Yeah.
did.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I was just
like,
thinking that the other day.
yeah, which we all went home and we were super bitter about it because we knew how incredibly amazing we were after 2 years of practice.
Yeah, as an
But-
instrumental band.
As an instrumental band that had a bassist that had been playing for 6 months.
But
And,
the crowd like doesn't appreciate that. Like
Yeah.
they don't give a fuck. It's like they want it. Like
Well-
the lead singer is the center of the
And that
show.
led right into the next competition that we led in. So we played like 2 competitions.
Yeah.
Pretty much right away.
Right.
And we lost both of them. Didn't even place third.
Did we sing in the second one?
Nope. Whoa, yeah. Didn't you sing?
PMC I sang at.
PMC is Portland Music Company.
Portland
That's
Music
right.
Company. They had a battle of the bands there is what
Yep.
it was.
I was
Were
just
you
talking
there
to
for
them on
that one?
Instagram.
He
Yeah,
was
that
there
was
for that,
Austin's
yeah.
first gig.
That was my first live
Yeah.
performance ever.
Yeah.
I was so stoked on that.
So
shit, dude.
freaking fun.
That was
So,
epic.
well, before we get into that, we need to back up a little bit and talk about how Austin actually got into the band.
We've already talked about that on the show, really.
Yeah, yeah, we have.
Mentioned in the back room, shredding along.
Yeah, he's
and-
just shredding.
Well, yeah, once my older brothers humbled themselves,
Yeah, I was like, I don't want my little brother
finally
in the band.
decided to let me join.
Pretty
Like,
much. That's
it's 11? Nah.
that's
12?
exactly what it is.
Okay.
But getting into bars was it created complications, having me be like fucking 13. And we're
Yeah.
playing at like fucking brick house and
Yeah.
Malibu's and
Yeah,
shit.
well, that continued for a long time because I wasn't even 21 when we were going to bars still more regularly, and it was still like you were under 18, and so that's when they were like, they would point at you and be like, "Do
They're like,
not
you go outside."
Like, and once
Yeah.
you're done, you are out of the bar. Do
You're
not
outta
touch the video arcade. Don't touch the booze. Don't go to the bar.
It's a bummer my parents were at all those shows though, because I would have had some great experiences with those MILFs.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Let's see. So there was PMC, and that's kind of going over the whole thing where we were actually trying to write lyrics with that one chick.
Yeah.
And we spent a bunch of time going over a bunch of stuff. And we,
Oh, that's right. Female singers phase.
yeah, that was the one that was actually in the band. We auditioned.
There's like
it.
nothing like even like did she ever perform with you guys?
No.
No.
She almost performed at the Sausage Fest with us, but she was a girl, so.
Okay.
No, she actually, I think she actually bailed. She ended up leaving the band
Right before that.
right before that.
Yeah. That's right.
It just wasn't a good fit. So she just ended
Yeah.
up leaving. But
So, yeah, then weren't we trying to make Eric work for a while?
Yeah, because I remember there's old pictures. I went through some old like hard drives not too long ago, just scrubbing through old parts.
Yeah.
And I found like we did like picture shoots and all that all the time. And there was one where like it's her brother is like a human mic stand and he's just holding the mic up in front of me while we're just jamming on stuff. This is like before I even had my Schecter, so I'm just sitting there. I was wearing that vest.
Yep.
That 1 year in high
the vest
school
you never took off.
that I never like.
You lived in.
I didn't sleep in it, but I did wear it every single day for about
He slept in it.
a year straight. Shut
When he
up.
first got it, he slept in it.
No, I don't really fit in that thing. That thing's almost a corset now, but I still have it, oddly enough. But
From there, I really do think. Well, okay. So the next, like, sort of singer was.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say his name, so
But-
and that's why I didn't say his name.
Yeah, exactly.
So there was that one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sounded like
That ended well.
Foo Fighters
Yeah.
was his inspiration.
Yeah.
He is actually what made that first song that we just played, These Games, what it is today.
That's right.
true.
He was the one that kind of helped arrange that. He
Yep.
had a brainchild
He
thing.
made that song, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we had something there, but he heard it and he's
He
like,
made
no,
it a fucking hit.
we do this, we do this, we do this, and I was like, dude,
Yes.
yes,
Dude, that made our album like worth something. Bro.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
huge.
that was good. That was really good.
yeah,
Thank you, Mr.
yeah.
Yeah.
But Michael wrote all the lyrics.
Yeah,
I did,
Michael, Michael wrote all the lyrics.
My vision for the song was originally something like that one Disciple song.
That's right. It's a little bit faster pace.
A little bit faster
That's the
paced,
song we
no
just played at
breaks.
the intro.
Yeah. That's the first song on the album too.
Da, da,
Yep.
da, 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 da.
Yep.
But Keaton was like, "Nah, bro. Like this is too good of an instrumental. Like not to expose. Like chop it up, put the vocal in,
Yep.
let the guitars let it breathe, put the vocal back in, let the guitars make it breathe.
Eric's idea was to do the megaphone thing.
Yeah.
Wait, what megaphone thing?
Put the vocal through a megaphone effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or was that?
I think that was ultimately decided by
Bambi.
Ben Beat.
Which we have to talk about because
That's later.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
after that one guy decided
Steve
to
Grohl. Let's just call him that.
Yeah, Steve Grohl.
You know, that's what.
After Steve
Roll.
after Steve left. I remember coming home from work and I ran upstairs and I saw that my parents were having like a couple of friends over. And I was like, hi, I've never met you before. And he, I guess my mom, I think she said something like, this guy's a producer. And so I was like, oh, really? That's awesome. I suddenly stood up a little straighter, spoke a little clearer.
That's great.
Cut out all the ums from my words, made eye contact, and I was like, "Can I show you a song?" And so I showed him.
No way. Dave Beatty?
Yes, this was Dave.
Because that's when he got married to Samantha. Yeah.
And so it was Dave Beatty and Samantha sitting in the room. And so I pulled out a phone recording of Since When from the CD. We had recorded Since When, and I played it to him, and he was like, I'll be able to hear through all the garbage. I just want to see if you're actually talented.
Standard disclaimer for quality.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, this is sweet. Let's do something here. Let's do something.
Is that how that worked?
Yes. So then I went running downstairs. Eric was there. And I said, I think we just got a producer. You guys aren't going to remember this, but it's permanently ingrained in my brain.
Yeah, because that
way.
was like you getting out there and like, yo, look at this.
Yeah. And so I went downstairs. I told you guys about it. And then I don't remember how it all happened, but because my memory clicks back in when we're in the basement of Dave's house in Beaverton, and we record everything.
Yeah.
And that was our first like real recording sesh.
Yeah, I think he
recorded,
ended
like,
up
5
asking. I what I remember is he ended up asking for demos. He asked for more demos. He wanted.
That's right.
Because-
he did. Yeah, because we spent so much time in the basement
Yeah.
trying to like record it all. And stuff.
Yeah, because we only had like a 1 or 2 channel interface, right? It was the fast track. So we had to do it layer by layer by layer by layer individually. So I had this whole plan set up that I was like, okay, so we can only do the drums on one mic, but this is just a demo. So at least, we'll get it to where it's a little clearer than just putting a mic in the middle of the room, having everything get muddled. So that way you can hear the vocals too. So we did the mic on Devin, and I did a direct in guitar on the second channel because that's all I could do. And Devin and I jammed out the song in its arrangement. So you'd have a bass, you'd have a guitar track, a rough guitar track that you'd record over later, and a drum track that would be over the whole thing. And then you'd just record the bass over it, record the lead guitar, record the rhythm guitar, and then you record the vocals over it.
Yeah.
And we even tried to do a music video out of one of them. We were recording all the different sessions because we were just straight through.
That's awesome.
So, but we did like 7 songs. I think I still have those demos on the old
Oh,
laptop.
I want to hear those.
Yeah.
Well, we got a couple of them right here. Let's play another one.
No, not the demos. This is the final.
Yes.
Well, these are the finals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good ones.
Weakest shots.
This is your baby, Eric.
Lyrics still got rewritten a bit. Oh, you didn't. You didn't.
You already know.
This is the. Yeah. This is the only.
Ladies and
song
gentlemen,
that album-
Eric fucking Henriksen.
Yeah, he's way better than he gives himself credit for.
No.
Just say that.
This is
Check
the
it.
only. This is the only song on the album that I was actually allowed to play a little bit of lead, and I improvised about 80% of this whole thing. This part's a little rough.
Dude, I love it. man.
You refused to write solo.
It didn't feel right. I
Yeah,
don't
you
know.
always wanted to improvise.
The
He's
only
like, dude, I just feel it, man.
a little.
It's gotta be in
There
the
were certain
moment,
parts
bro.
like the wah 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 wah.
Yeah, I know. I planned certain things because that's what Dave wanted. He wanted the whole thing like perfectly written out, and you had a moment in the studio that actually really helped out because you had your solos, at least for the album, you had them nailed.
Scripted.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was to the point where he was like, "Well, there's a weird spot. Like, just is it possible we could try a punch in?" And he was, I remember he had a freaking day because he was like, "Dude, you can't even tell. I don't have to do anything to like it punched in like on the note, but you're just so like ready for it that when you played straight through it and it punched in, it punched out, you couldn't even tell.
Yeah.
It sounded like
good.
one take.
I'm a pretty good studio guitarist,
Yeah.
you know.
I'll say.
Well, I mean, this when that happened was like 2011, 2012, probably. So plus 8 years more of experience. Yeah.
That's my primary weapon.
Yeah. Remember that first session at Dave's house though,
So
because he just moved in and it was empty.
why don't I remember it this way? I remember that Mom was doing bookkeeping for Bent B, and then she said, "Yeah, my kids are in a band," and then, "Oh, cool! You've done so much for
Bent beat.
My company.
for my company. Let me just record your son's band and just give him an EP." And that's where that recording session happened. And then we did that whole recording session, and then he was like, "Oh my gosh," and then that's when the whole thing went on. Why don't I remember it that way?
I do not remember that way at all.
That likely happened in that like I met Dave at a certain point, but then Mom started doing the bookkeeping for Bent B.
Okay.
And then that was that.
And
That's where the
what
actual.
actually initiated the whole thing.
Yeah, that's what actually initiated the.
Got it. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah. So then we just started. At that point, did we record the album, or did Dave help us find singers before that?
He helped us find singers before that because there was the East Side studio that he had for a period of time. You remember that one with the sliding glass door?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That was after, because let's see, 2012. I remember I graduated high school, and like literally the week of me graduating, we got the text from, and we're already going ahead from number, we'll call him number 2 for this point in time.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Like that actually stuck around for a while.
For a little while, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It was but Austin and him got along, we'll say. Still get along, right?
Who? What? Dave?
No, not Dave.
No, our singer. No, that was Dave Grohl.
Steve Grohl.
Yeah.
Let's see. You had to rewrite his rap.
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me. Yeah.
You were fired up.
Post David Grohl.
Yeah.
What's his name? What's his cover up now?
Yeah. What's his name?
Thick
Mac
Shady.
and cheese.
Mac and cheese. That's better.
Because that's what he wrote his rap about, right?
Yeah, that's right. Mac and cheese.
Oh my god!
Mac and cheese. That was his whole philosophy. Rap's easy.
Do you guys remember any of the lyrics from that rap?
Mac and
No,
cheese.
I remember mac and cheese.
I remember mac and cheese. Something about a tiger.
Something about flexing back.
Yeah, dude. Just a bunch of really corny lyrics, man.
Yeah. It was.
But that's
rap's
all he
easy.
really thought hip hop was. At least being a white guy. That was kind of his perspective on it. Like, I'm not going to be like 50 Cent. I'm not going to be like these guys. I'm just going to be funny and do my thing. You know what I mean? But I was just talking to him the other day, and we're actually pretty good friends now.
Yeah.
And he just did like a competition where he wrote this little rap, and he had a motorcycle helmet on, and he like drinks a beer like through the helmet.
What? That's
amazing.
awesome.
And he like spits this rap about motorcycles. And he like posted it on this competition page, like this group of motorcyclists, because he's moving back in town.
Yeah.
And he just bought a motorcycle. And so he's like in all these motorcycle groups on Facebook. And they were just having a hip hop competition, like who can write a funny rap about motorcycles. And so he submitted that and won $100.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty fucking
Well,
cool.
there you go.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. So
Yeah. No, he went a lot of different places after that. We found out later, but
Should we talk about some of the people that thought they were destined to be our singer?
Mr. TFK?
Yeah.
well, that's one of them. No,
Yeah.
there's
Mr. TFK.
There was Mr.
dude.
TFK, and then
What's the name of that song that he just
it was one that I didn't listen to a whole lot beforehand.
sodomized?
Scream?
Scream.
Yeah,
We should call him Mr. Scream.
No.
Mr. Scream.
Mr. Scream,
Yeah,
yeah.
Mr. Scream.
That's
And then there's
that's
that one
more appropriate in more ways
punk
than
chick.
one. Then there was
That little chick.
That one girl that auditioned at River's Edge that one time.
okay, yeah,
And she was kind of like
Well, she
She wasn't nearly-
she kept coming to Dave.
Yeah.
Dave was like
Yeah.
fending her off.
right. She was leaving a bunch of messages, but
Yeah.
There's so much shit I forgot, dude.
golly, yeah.
Then there's
oh gosh,
Genie.
Genie, yeah,
We'll call him
yeah.
Genie.
Genie.
He was a lot
dude,
like
he
mac
kept
and
coming
cheese,
back?
except no, he messaged us later. 'cause
Yeah.
he had
So
he had
he came to
personal
he
issues,
came to
but
practice
He actu-
once.
He actually might have crushed that album.
if he could keep form. That was the thing, is he couldn't count.
Well, no, because he came. He came.
I know
like
he was
super
inebriated.
hungover. Super hungover. So that, I mean, that was the only real reason that I think he was having so many issues, right? Or do I remember that wrong?
Is either he was hungover or he was actively inebriated.
He had some issues.
Yeah, he seemed like he just had a lot of shit going on in his life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a year later, he messaged us again. It was like, we're not ready to deal with
I'm ready to go. I remember that conversation I had with him. He called me up and he's like, "So, all right, man, I'm ready. I'm ready to commit." And I'm like, "Oh, nice. Well, we actually found somebody else at this point." And he's like, "Who?" And we hadn't actually found somebody else. And I was just like,
okay.
"We've just found someone on Craigslist." And he's like, "Oh yeah, what's his name?" I'm like, Rick. So, and then he hung up. He hung up on me.
No.
And I was like, yeah, he saw through that.
Well, whatever.
I'm never going to live that down.
Dude, that's crazy. So, Rick.
Yeah.
Rick, because I was working at the time. And our boss's name was Rick. And I was like,
Yeah, that works.
gotta come with a name, gotta come with Rick. Rick.
The way you like suggested that, like you didn't even like say it. You're just like, Rick.
Yeah, like, do you... Is his name Rick? I can't remember. What do you think?
Maybe he goes
Rick,
by Richard.
right? Is Rick? No. Someone else.
Help me out here, man. I'm having a hard time.
That's funny.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, that was pretty funny. So, okay.
We had Genie, and then after Genie was
TFK. Dude, what'd you call it? Scream.
no, it was
Mr.
Beanie.
Beanie.
Wait, who's Beanie?
I don't remember Beanie.
Describe Beanie.
Right before we recorded the album. Before
Oh gosh.
Beanie?
Grant. He's on the album. He's got his name out there
Yeah,
already.
Grant.
Wait. What?
Was there one more before?
Was
Yeah,
there
the dude I
someone
was just
between
talking to about his fucking rap competition.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
mac and cheese?
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what
he
we're-
was there for a long
yeah.
time.
He was right before we recorded. He left the band right before we recorded the album, though, right?
Didn't we have
Before we recorded the
even
final
had
version
him
of
on
it.
it a little bit?
Yeah,
We did.
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
did
we
one
did one
session.
session with him.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did it. We did the spring break session, is what it was. We
Yeah,
did
at
it
our-
at your guys'
At our
house.
house.
A Bent Beat came over. Matt, I want to say his name was engineering the
Yeah,
thing. We put
Man,
mac and
Johnny.
cheese in the bathroom, which is ironic because he always said that's where the bassist belongs. So then that was his little isolation booth, was the bathroom, and the rest of us got to actually be in the room.
We
Yeah,
built like
it's-
a little mattress fort in there.
Yeah, we did.
That was when like I remember like recording the album. Like it
Yeah.
was at our parents' house.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that was with mac and cheese, and we ended up scrapping a lot of those vocals as a result.
Yeah, because when they got the other one with the sliding door, that's when they brought in Grant, and then he just went over everything.
Yeah.
Because we had everything recorded. Did he even quit? Did Mac and Cheese quit like during the session, during the recording?
No, he
No.
he quit over text like the week I graduated high school.
Day before our show
Yeah.
at Pop Culture.
That was
Yeah.
that was super fun. That was when Michael was, we were literally sitting there. Devin and I were going over something. I think it was new material or something. It was kind of a difficult rhythm and we were having a hard time kind of coordinating. Like I was trying to explain it.
Right, I
And we
remember
weren't getting it. And then Michael just storms out of the room, silent. Just like,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
he wasn't part of it. And we're sitting there and he's just like, how is he so frustrated on what's going on right now? It's just
Yeah,
like,
I thought you were mad at me.
and then he,
That's what I thought too.
and then
I was like,
like, oh,
damn,
great,
okay,
here we
bro.
go.
Like, it's
Why
just
did
a
you fast?
song.
like, Jesus Christ, we can figure this out.
No, actually, our lead singer just left the band.
Yeah,
He
just
came
quit.
back in and was just like,
No, that
yeah,
was
mac
the
and
day
cheese.
of our show. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
gonna play the new song and everything.
Yeah.
We were waiting for mac and cheese to show up to band practice to prep for the show.
That's right.
Oh my God, mac and cheese.
Oh man,
That was emotional.
We've had conversations about
That
it.
was an emotional moment.
That was very
That was
emotional.
quite a moment for all of us.
That was big of.
because we were really tired of looking for singers at this point.
Yeah,
So
dude,
we-
were
It
at a
was
breaking
so
point.
hard to find mac and cheese.
It was.
Like we walked in and out of the grocery store so many
Winco, Walmart, fucking Fred Meyer.
Went to the convenience store.
Here goes the dad jokes.
Oh
Okay.
boy. Oh man.
Yeah, but then we went back on Craigslist, right?
We had some auditions and we actually auditioned like 3 or 4 people. And
And then we ended up with Grant, which was like, C minus.
Yeah. Well, Grant was the only one that could actually sing
Grant, if
of
you're
all the
listening.
people that auditioned.
Yeah.
Well, like,
So-
look at our album. Like, I'm sure Grant's been practicing. I'm sure he's much better now. But we recorded that in like 2006.
No, not that long ago.
No?
Like 2014.
Okay.
yeah.
I'm not that old.
No, 2006. You're like 9 or 10. I don't think I met you at that point. So, any of you.
Long time ago.
That was a long.
14 years ago. I feel like we would have met.
Yeah.
No, we met in 2007. I remember.
Of course.
That's when you showed up to church.
Eric's the human encyclopedia, dude.
He's like a vault.
He's got everything dialed.
Partially because 2006 was rough.
Oh.
But
You didn't have me in your life.
No, there's a lot of other things going on. Anyway,
Moving on.
So 2007, met the Qualvics. Eventually started playing drums. Michael decided, hey, I want to learn bass. Let's play a band. Eventually, because like we're all still young, so Austin was really young. And then eventually we let Austin in the band. And then we get all the way through, go through like 4 singers, one of them who was actually serious.
And that's the thing is we went through so many singers and each and every single one of them was so hard to find.
Yeah.
Because we just didn't really have much of a huge circle, us 3 being homeschooled.
Homeschooled.
And so we were just
I'm not
heavily,
exactly
heavily leaning on you to try to bring people into the band.
Yeah.
And that just didn't
Didn't
like.
work.
I mean, it didn't.
Not.
Your circle wasn't huge either.
No.
at school. So
I went to a small school and I was shy.
yeah.
So
So it just wasn't a thing. So it was just so difficult for us. So when we finally found mac and cheese, I remember I was at work. So this is another funny story. Mac and cheese didn't have a car for his audition day.
that's right.
So I
He didn't have a
literally
car for a long time.
drove
Picked him up.
from like northern Vancouver, drove down into Portland, picked him up and drove back and dropped him off and then went straight to work.
This is back when gas was expensive.
This
too.
was back when
like
gas
it was
was
$4.50, $5 a gallon. Gosh,
Yeah. And
I remember those years.
and you guys were texting me just going, man, this guy's actually kind of good.
Yeah.
And I'm just at the car wash, just like,
Just like, I sure fucking hope so.
I'm so excited. Send me a recording.
Well, because Genie, we had to go pick him up constantly. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, great, here's another Genie.
Yeah.
Serious, man.
But no, then he got a car. He got a car real quick. So that was good. But yeah, then we're texting you and we're all freaking out and we're excited. And then you came home at like 10:30. Or did I feel like I brought him home. And I was really nervous about driving to Portland.
Yeah, that probably happened.
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah. Anyways,
Let's play another song.
yeah, let's do it.
dude.
Since when?
Speaking of,
dude.
That's good. I love that. That was so much fun. That was my favorite song to like play.
That's juicy, man.
We had a really hard time keeping that one consistent, though.
That's the song
Tempo.
that won
Tempo-wise,
our
yes.
recording.
Yeah.
I guess.
That's what
Right?
I could barely
What?
keep up on that one.
Yeah.
I remember because we wrote it and just slowly turned up the speed.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, like I can't move my fingers fast enough to keep up.
Well, part of
remember
it,
having
part of it, that
practiced
one
that so much.
that was one of the ones we had to shorten the intro on like a lot.
Yeah,
because
that's right.
the first
Yeah.
iteration of it, it was like, okay, here's the thing, you got a 6-minute song, and you have about a minute and a half where there's vocals in it,
Yeah.
That's right.
and
Because the solo is ridiculous.
The entire first half was instrumental, and the last quarter was instrumental.
Yeah.
So there was like this small section in the middle that actually had like a spot for lyrics, and
We
so
were
it was like.
obsessed with long ass intros, dude.
And solos.
And guitar solo.
It was fun. I mean, we're like
Because we had you for
we were
soloing.
initially we were initially an instrumental band, so it was
Right.
like we loved playing these big old like arrangements and stuff like that because that was fun.
And that's what fucking set us apart at like the Hawthorne Theater and stuff. Because like people were just like, whoa, these guys are cool. Like, what are they doing? Like, because everybody else was just, you know, we had like To Die Elsewhere on there. They like popped.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because they had like a theme. There's like something that there's just like a couple bands that played at those shows where you could tell you're like, oh,
Okay, you guys are
Yeah.
good.
they're gonna go somewhere. And I feel like that's kind of what people thought when they saw us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're breaking that a little bit.
Because there was, I mean, we used to play these shows a lot where you had to sell your own tickets, and depending on your ticket sales, that's when you would get first pick at when you would play. Right. So then we would go to a lot of those shows, and the bad people would be at the very beginning. They're playing at like noon, right? And then and then it goes all the way till like Sunday morning. You know,
Monday morning. It was Sunday night.
Yeah, it was Sunday night.
Yeah, Monday morning. Okay. Yeah, so it would go all the way to Monday morning, and then that's when the worst people would play. So the first people would play first, and the worst people would play last, right? And the good people would play at like 8 o'clock, 9, and 10.
7.
Right?
Yeah, 7. I
And,
think was the first slot.
And
that
then the
usually
building
went.
just cleared out.
And then everybody would just quit. Because we would always play at night, and we're getting like, there's nobody there.
Yeah.
And then there more people and more people and more people would come in.
We're
We're
just
getting
like,
excited. We're getting ready to go. And then the biggest band would play. And then we would run up there. We'd set all our stuff, turn around, and there's nobody there.
I'm like setting up. I'm like plugging my amp in. Like, no, get back. What the?
It's like, dude, it's Monday tomorrow though. It's just
Everyone's like, yeah, we want to go see Silver Remains at midnight on Monday morning.
Oh, yeah.
that particular incident happened once, only once.
Yeah, I think it was like our dad in the crowd.
Yeah, it was Dad and our friends.
Yeah, a couple friends. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't there for those. At that point, I
that
had
was
left.
that was really late. Yeah,
Because
Right.
at
that's
that
when
point,
Eric was
I remember
playing bass.
one show, you almost like, you were so sick.
You were so sick.
I tried
like-
so hard, you guys. I tried.
Yeah, you did
Until
great.
the very last minute. Michael was like,
he was huddled.
just give
in-
me a stool or something, or like I'll lay on the stage or like whatever. But then, like as the night got later, you were like, I feel
Dude,
like
Yeah, it was
I remember-
fetal position in the car.
Yeah, I
It
remember
was
walking
bad.
out to the car to check on you, make sure you were doing okay, bring you some water or whatever. And you're like,
he's like wrapped up in a blanket.
yeah, he's on the car. We
Like
had
sweating.
we had this minivan and we had all the seats taken out in the back so that we could put all of our stuff in it. And then Michael was laying down there on some cardboard, just like
Oh
shaking.
my god, dude! Laying in the back of a van in Portland.
That's the sickest I've ever felt.
It was at
Yeah.
Hawthorne too.
I had like
was so
hardcore pneumonia.
Yeah.
And I was sick for a long freaking time too. Like weeks. I was just stuck in bed.
Yeah.
That is
God, it
dedication.
was so bad.
Yeah.
That was the sickest I've ever been.
And you were ready to play a show.
And I was trying so hard. I'm like, I feel better. I feel better.
like,
I can do it.
I don't have to sing. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, we played that show. We still went up there and did it.
Yeah.
Did we just not have a bass? Or did
We had
I
no
think I
bass.
grabbed it.
You picked up the bass.
I think I picked it up.
I thought that one you guys just straight up didn't play bass. I thought that's what happened.
I felt
because,
really empty.
because after I left, I
Yeah.
remember you picked up the bass. and played
Okay,
a lot
so
of
that's
it,
right.
but-
That was the problem. Is I actually talked with Maverick about that, is that we talked about. It's just like because you know the bass parts in our genre is real similar to what the rhythm parts do. So like I pretty much knew most of Michael's parts already. Not that my fingers could handle it because you'd still blister the crap out of yourself trying to do that.
Right.
Yeah. And I did later on. But it was like we talked about it, and it's just like, okay, so Austin's playing lead parts that have to have rhythm guitar underneath it. I think we can make that work, and that's the arrangement that we know. Because otherwise, we would have to probably move a lot of your, maybe not all of them, but a lot of your lead parts down to rhythm, and then move me down to bass. And I don't think we were ready to make that turn of the heel just like minutes before the show type of thing, you know? Thinking about, oh, don't play this part, play the other one.
Wasn't at one point Maverick going to play bass for us?
He was thinking about it.
Yeah, he almost jumped in, didn't he?
Dude.
That would have been wild.
That would have been crazy. I forget, for whatever reason, he had to leave or something.
Dude, he's a performer, man.
Yeah.
The dude is like...
Dude's awesome.
He just gave me a CD of like all these bands that he's played in. And he was like, here, like, if anything's going to happen with these songs, it's going to happen through you.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah.
And basically he told me I could rewrite them and re-record them.
I remember when I first met Maverick at a Walmart.
At Walmart?
Yeah. We were trying to find people to play with, and he reached out to me because my phone number was on the Craigslist ad, like trying to find bands to play with or whatever. And he reached out to me and was like, I looked you up. Sounds great, man. Can we just meet for like a second and then so we can organize our pop culture show? Because remember that first show that we played at Pop Culture with...
They were there?
The early shows at Pop Culture.
It wasn't the first
actually,
one that we played at Pop Culture, but it was like the second show we played at Pop Culture.
R.I.P.
Do they know what Pop Culture is?
Yeah, we talked about it before.
Okay,
it's a venue in Vancouver, Washington.
Yeah.
Didn't
Was
sell beer.
But the
it was all ages. Yeah.
Maverick and I met at a freaking Walmart. The Walmart in Hazeldale.
So you basically
Yeah.
like booked Jet Force Gemini at Pop Culture, that first show we played with them?
Yes.
In Walmart.
At Walmart.
That's great.
You know what's crazy? I bumped into Maverick at a Lego store one time.
Walmart and
That's
Lego.
Battleground.
That's right.
In Battleground, Washington. He was working there.
Really?
Before Jet Force Gemini, before fucking... It was probably after some of his other bands.
Yeah, because he's been
American
doing
Bastard and...
He had Vision and I think that's how you say it. Vicen or Vision.
He was
I don't
in
know.
so many bands.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's fun.
I don't think he was actually in American Bastard. I think his old
That
band
one
just
doesn't
played
sound-
lots of shows with them.
Yeah, I was about to say. Because I remember
awesome.
Vision coming up a lot on his feed.
Yeah.
There was a,
That was crazy. He's like working at a Lego store. Because like they opened up, him and a few of his friends opened up a Lego store in Battleground. And like me and my buddy at the time, who lived in Battleground,
Right,
we were
you
like,
guys really
there's a
into
Lego
Lego.
store just opened up in Battleground. We should go check it out. We got there like 9 a.m. when they were supposed to open. And then like Maverick and two of his homies come rolling up at like 9:45.
Oh.
And they're just like, what's up, guys? Just like, hey, we saw there's a Lego store. They're like, oh, okay. Like they weren't planning on having anybody waiting there.
Yeah.
That was great. And then so I see him at Pop Culture that day. We played that show, and I'm just like, why do I know this guy?
I remember you saying
What the
that.
fuck, dude? Lego store.
right.
What are you doing here? Who are you? What happened? Like, because he's got the whole emo look going on with the makeup and the hair, dude.
Yeah.
Like, dude, Maverick's a fucking badass.
Yeah, he's great.
Check out Atomic Age Renegades. That's our band now.
Do it.
Is he still with the long hair and the makeup or what?
No, it's shorter, but you know, he's got the rocker thing going on.
Bring it back.
a little bit of eyeliner. like,
Oh,
yeah.
he will when we perform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fucking lit.
Nice.
Dude. I can't wait to share the stage with that guy, dude. It's gonna be insane.
Yeah, no, we've lined up next to him. Well, not next to him, but we've been in the lineup with Jet Force Gemini a number of times.
Yeah.
That was
That's an interesting story too. How
yeah.
that band ended.
yeah.
Oh.
Oh, are they actually over now? Because I know
well,
he didn't stick with them the whole
They
time.
might as well be because they don't have Maverick anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they went a ways afterwards. They had some momentum, but it looks like they changed like the drummer and the bassist, mostly the bassist, which is what Maverick played naturally. They had roster changes at bassist a lot, and then I just stopped hearing from him after a while.
Yeah, they kicked Maverick out because he was stealing the show, basically.
yeah. And then
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's why?
Yep.
they got jealous.
Yeah.
No. That's stupid.
It was
And because he wanted to take it in a different direction, he wanted to go pop and play covers. He listens to all these. I wonder. But like he wanted to play because he's like, dude, when we play Beastie Boys and Katy Perry at Pop Culture, these people pull up chairs. They go nuts, bro. And like Maverick was the only one like running around the fucking venue with his wireless rig on his guitar.
Dude, I remember he actually made me play the riff for him.
Yeah, he did.
He got down and he's like, no, right there.
He's just like
Yeah.
strumming. You're just like, yeah, dude, this guy rocks.
That was right.
It was like it was super. It wasn't anything major. It was just fun, but no, it's because I remember because it's they didn't play like the Katy Perry song the way Katy Perry would play it. Just to be clear, it was a rock cover,
Yes.
metal cover,
It's close to what you guys
pop
do.
punk cover,
Yes.
Yeah.
whatever you call it. So they're like riffing on the low end, take me, and underneath it. So. It was
good.
fun.
Yeah, dude.
It was so much
good.
fun because it was one of those like, oh, you know the song already.
So that's an Atomic Age Renegade song now.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I bet you have a lot of fun with that.
That's where that whole idea came from. That's why Maverick got kicked out of Jet Force Gemini. And so now we're doing it.
It's sad because that was kind of like the funnest part of Jeff Force.
Yeah, that was
There
the
you
best.
go.
Yeah.
Case in point. dude.
So and that's when they stopped doing shows with us too, right? Because like Maverick was he was the one that was like bring these guys along, right? Wasn't it?
Not that we weren't tight with the other guys, but Maverick was way more like
'Cause
open.
I feel
to
like
talking
once
to
he
us.
left, I was like, why aren't we playing with Jet Force anymore? And then Austin's like, oh, because Maverick's not part of it. It's just how I remember.
It could be.
He also did a lot of the show organizations later on. I remember Maverick actually. He was a promoter in and of himself because he put together the. I specifically remember we had this whole joke. You guys bought T-shirts of I support the right to arm bearers,
bearers, yeah.
and he took that like another step and made a show out of
he
it.
did.
It's like I support the rights for bare arms, and it was literally
still
like
have that
some like
picture.
average dude with bare arms just sitting there on the like just
from a
standing,
bear.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
An
like
animal.
Yeah.
bare arms. Yeah,
Yeah, the claws and everything, fur like all the way up to the shoulder, and the rest of it's like button down shirt, like average dad bod, and balding like hairline or whatever.
it's so good,
Dude, Maverick is the dopest man.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, plus, we weren't 21. All of us weren't 21. I don't think anybody else were 21
For a while.
We had a hard time.
That's right.
Playing shows with them because they played a lot of bars.
That's right.
And we found those were some of the best shows to play.
That
too.
were the best shows
Yeah.
to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
They also had that crazy producer. Do you guys remember her?
Oh.
That lady that would like book shows for them.
yeah,
Do you remember her?
I do.
Either of you? Devin does. I can't remember what her name was, but she was like we went to a couple shows where she booked the show and she like just put us in there because Maverick put in a good word for us. Do you guys remember that one that we played out in Oregon City?
I think I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Was that
Red
the
Room?
No, that was. I think I remember the stage because that was with Mac and Cheese, right?
Yep.
And I had my sunglasses. It was late at night.
Yeah. So it was really yeah, mac and cheese is so good. But anyway, so she booked that and then just threw us in there because we were friends of Maverick and she wanted to see if she could produce us or like book us and stuff like that. And we met her and kind of came to the conclusion like, nah, bro.
Gosh, I don't remember that part of the show.
I had a conversation with Maverick and was just like, yeah, so we're gonna what should we call her? Wait.
Don't
Karen?
Karen, dude.
Oh, jeez.
sure.
Let's call her Karen. So I was just like, I was talking to Maverick about it, just going like, yeah, we're just not going to go with Karen. We're talking about it and it's just not going to align with what we're trying to do as a band. And he's like, yeah, so that, neither are we.
Oh,
Yeah, we fired her like yesterday because she cray. And,
crazy,
Yeah,
yeah.
she was wild. It's like she was apparently just like,
It's funny. That part sounds familiar. I do not remember even looking at this gal.
It's crazy. That's
she was backstage at that place in Oregon City with Mac
Yeah,
and
I
Cheese.
can't remember what the name of that place was. It was a kind of a cool venue though. It
was a
like
great venue.
It was a
Was it
small
the Red
warehouse
Room?
type of thing.
No,
it might, no.
wasn't the Red Room?
no,
It was a bar?
way bigger. It was way bigger.
The
bar?
Annex?
The Annex.
Annex.
Yes.
Okay.
That was a pretty fun show.
That was a good
That
one.
was fun.
That's it was stage lights and that was the thing about it.
Yeah,
That
it
was the
big ass
biggest
stage.
biggest show in terms of like actual size of the venue that I ever played.
What about
Right.
Vancouver Esther Shore Park?
He wasn't in that.
Yeah,
I played there.
You did?
Yeah,
I think that was
dude.
at the end of Michael's kind of tenure.
I thought that
I
was
had
like
already
the end
quit.
of the Silver Remains.
That was. Well, it
So
happened to
did
be.
we just bring you back for the one show?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's why.
Because we wanted
Yeah,
to
you
have the
popped
two
back in for a
guitars.
couple
Okay.
shows.
That's why.
We wanted two guitars. That's what it was.
Michael told us from the very beginning, he was like, dudes, I'm going to give this band everything until I find a wife. And then I'm going to start a family. Mm-hmm. And then I don't want to do this anymore. And we were like,
We don't resent you or anything for
no,
that.
dude. I'm so glad he told us that.
It was clear. Yeah.
That was good. It's
It
good.
was clear from the time that I was like 10
Yeah.
that like my calling is not to be on tour or anything. It's like I want to have kids. I want to have a family. Like that's my vision for my life. When I was like 12, I'd be like, Dad, I want to have kids. And he'd be like, well, just pump the brakes a little bit, dude. You're 12. You're 12.
It's like, we're going to get an internet blocker here.
Having that shortened period of time is probably what gave you like the drive to be like, hell yeah, I'm going to drive to Portland and pick up our lead singer. Hell yeah, I'm going to,
You would
stand
do
up and talk to this producer. Like if you were going to do this for the rest of your life, you might meet a producer and just be like, well, I'll probably see him again sometime.
Yeah.
But you're like, I'm not going to be doing this for very long. I want to make sure and like, make my time here valuable.
I also think that around that time when I was like 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, just like that period of time, I was just on fire. Like I didn't want to wait for anything. I was the most impatient person on the planet.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't wait.
Right.
And so when an opportunity like popped up in front of my face, I just like grabbed it, just like, look at me, And so I don't know. Like I think that was partially more of it. I don't think because I don't, and the reason I say that is because I don't think that I would have predicted meeting the most beautiful woman on the planet at 19 years old. I did. Sorry, everybody else gets seconds. But
Hey man, you're impatient.
She's very beautiful.
yeah, but I mean, it happened.
Oh, that's
This is
great.
dope,
That's
man.
great.
So-
that's good.
No, you did the fucking band justice, man.
Yeah.
Great job. Round of applause for Mike, everybody.
Yeah. So we're getting close to an hour here. How any other stories that you guys want to?
I have one more to close out if you guys are down.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
I remember like years ago, before Silver Remains, before any of that, our family used to go down to Esther Shore Park and hang out.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to just like pretend I was a rock star on that stage.
Yeah.
And because like there was some church events that we went to at that park, and I'd seen bands play there and stuff, and I was like, I knew at that moment that was my calling, and I was gonna be there.
Yep.
And I remember, oh man, there's another loophole in this story, but I used to go up there and just pretend I was playing a show up there, and then years later when we finally put out our album, and then Dave snagged us the show at Coup Fest at Esther Shore Park. Being on that stage, bro, I was just like, yup. Like I fucking did it.
Yeah.
Like I said I was gonna
Yeah.
do it, and I'm here, motherfuckers. Like, dude, that was like, and I told that story. I didn't tell it exactly like that on stage,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I remember that. That was good.
I was like, I can do anything. Like that made me believe in myself. I was like, yep, I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life.
It's awesome.
Here we go, music.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember getting up on that stage and we started. That was like the one band, the thing where I have this like last minute panic, making sure I got everything, and because being the drummer, you got the most equipment.
Dude.
You're trying to remember you get everything, and you got the heaviest stuff, and people are helping you get stuff. And I'm telling people, get that, make sure you get
We had a
that.
spike rug to help kind of expedite everything.
Trying to make that go faster. I think it just made it go slower. But and I remember that being like, okay, I finally feel like I got everything. and I felt pretty like chill about everything, and I wasn't like sweating and just soaked with sweat just before I even got to the venue because I'm freaking out so much trying to make sure I get there. And then I'm setting everything up and making sure everything's set up, and I got my whole kit set up. I go around, I grab my drum throne, I spread out the legs, I put it down and go, where's the seat? Oh no, where's the seat? Bro. Did you get it? Nobody got the seat. I had the stand. And I'm like, take it. And at this point, my pedals had a case. And I'm like, see if I could like balance the case on. Oh, man. I'm freaking out. And I'm like, Dave, we don't have the freaking thing. Because Dave was there. And I'm like, we don't have the thing. And Dave's like, calm down. Take a deep breath.
Oh, yeah. I've had that conversation with Dave plenty of times at weddings.
Oh, boy.
I forgot the cable.
It turned out that we found a folding chair. And then I put my case on top of the folding chair because
Drum chairs are short.
Yeah, drum thrones are this big.
Yeah.
Regular folding chairs are about 3 or 4 inches lower, and but yeah,
just a little car seat on there.
Yeah.
Funny thing about Esther Short though is we almost didn't play on that stage.
That's right.
Right.
Because we got up there and then they're like, oh yeah, actually, so you see this wonderful stage right up there that you've always been wanting to play with since you were like 8 years old. Yeah. So there's another one over there that's like an eighth of the size, and maybe someone might walk by, and you can play over there. And
dude, my heart just
I remember you were I looked at you. I thought you were gonna kill somebody.
Dude, I was lit. I was lit. I
was like, well, this is the day Austin goes to jail.
Remember that conversation about violence? Dude, this is gonna happen right now. But I remember Dave is such a boss.
Yeah.
Because he went to bat and he was he just went to that guy and was like, hey, can they just play up there? And so I remember him coming back to us and saying, hey, so I got you guys that spot.
So the guy that booked the show, that whole event, was in one of the bands and was playing on the main stage. Okay. And then he came up to us and he was like, you guys can have my time slot. If you want, I'll play on the side stage.
No way! Did that happen?
Yeah.
I feel like I know who that might be.
Oh my God.
And Dave told me that after the show.
Oh, he didn't
because
tell
he saw how
else.
upset I was. He was like, dude, you got what you wanted. Like, are you happy? Like,
oh, dude, I didn't know that.
I was such a priss, dude. It's like, give me the main stage.
I'm glad you did.
I was fucking 13.
I wanted to play on that stage, bro. I was so disappointed. I was moping around for like 2 hours. Dude, you weren't the only one that was pissed, man. Yeah. I was mad.
Well, apparently I'm violent. So sorry, guys.
No.
Fuck.
He's not actually.
Maybe that's why Silver Remains didn't make it.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Is I was working at Subway. You know that bar, Irish Town, we used to always work at?
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
The guy who booked the show there came in and got a sandwich from me one time. He was like, "You're that band with Silver Remains, like at Irish Town." I was like, "Oh yeah, you're the guy." Yeah. And he was like, "Dude," he's like, "Your band's cool, but you're good, man." He's like, "You're really good." He was like, "Go on tour with this country band. Their first show is at Clark County Fair. $60,000 up front in your pocket." And I was like, "Nah, I'm committed to Silver Remains."
That's an odd offer to get all of a sudden as well. It's one of those like, are you?
He was the guy, dude. He was booking shows in Portland and in Vancouver, and he was booking some big shows. And it just happened that he was at Irish Town when we were playing, and then he came and hit me up. Should have taken it. Anyways, this song will carry us out.
This one's old.
Yeah, this goes way back.
Pod heaven, everybody.
Thanks for
Silver
tuning
Remains in the house.
Thanks for joining us, Michael.
Find us on social medias. Check out the links below. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in every week.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week.
Later.
At the top of Sinai, in the stone.